Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, the Privacy Commissioner will investigate a data breach affecting millions of Albertans. A Conservative comeback, why an MLA who was kicked out of caucus is returning to the UCP. And from fuel to fertilizer, the rising costs of running a farm.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Alberta's Privacy Commissioner is launching an investigation into a data breach involving a leaked voter list affecting nearly 3 million Albertans. She says it will be conducted under the Personal Information Protection Act, also known as PIPA. It comes as former Premier Jason Kenney calls on the province to consider stricter rules around who can be classified as a political party. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
But it just takes one person who takes that stuff too far.
Former Premier Jason Kenney says he isn't one to live in fear. However, he takes the fact his information, along with millions of others, was illegally posted online seriously.
Some of the folks and the more over-caffeinated people in the separatist movement have had me as a target, certainly a political target, since COVID.
Kenney says he's received numerous threats over the years. So when he heard his information in particular was searched during a Centurion Project meeting, he looked at it as borderline incitement.
I hope that there are serious consequences for those responsible and those involved. I think a lot of these separatist organizations have been playing fast and loose with the rules for far too long.
Kenney is considering legal action, and this Alberta lawyer says it's likely others are doing the same.
There's definitely precedent for bringing this kind of case, and I would be pretty surprised if someone didn't file a class action on this.
Kenney says he'd be open to being a part of a class action. Politically, he considers this a nonpartisan issue, so he believes the UCP and Alberta NDP should come together to consider tightening some rules.
My own personal view is that the so-called Republican Party of Alberta, which apparently is ultimately responsible for these leaks, is not a bona fide political party. Maybe if you're going to get access to the full voter list, you should have to put out a good behavior bond.
A letter signed by 38 scholars calls for an independent public inquiry, saying that is the most effective way to restore faith in our electoral system. The Premier and UCP ministers have said they want to wait until investigations by the police and Elections Alberta are complete before taking any action. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The UCP government has welcomed Lesser Slave Lake MLA Scott Sinclair back into caucus. The party expelled Sinclair from caucus in March of 2025 after he criticized the party's budget and threatened to vote against it. Sinclair sat as an independent. He later aligned with former cabinet minister Peter Guthrie, who was also booted from caucus. The two MLAs joined forces to relaunch the Progressive Conservative Party. However, when Guthrie rebranded it to the Progressive Tory Party of Alberta, Sinclair chose to remain an independent. Yesterday in the legislature, Sinclair apologized for criticizing the Premier and the budget, saying it was a moment he is not proud of.
Hockey was my whole life growing up, and sometimes emotions run high and things get passionate. But no individual performance, regardless of passion and emotion, wins championships or experiences success like a strong team does. I understand that for us to serve our constituents and best serve our province, we need to work and win as a team.
The UCP says it believes Sinclair has reflected on the expectations of caucus MLAs and demonstrated renewed commitment to the party. A man attacked by a stranger in St. Albert says he's now scared to get behind the wheel of his car. The accused has been charged with aggravated assault. As CTV's Nara Manisa reports, the Muslim community also wants the attack investigated as possibly motivated by hate.
When they were close to him, he takes his car and cut them off.
Ahmed Abdul Qadir says the St. Albert couple is trying to understand why they were attacked last Friday afternoon. Qadir says the pair were leaving the local mosque when they were confronted by another driver.
Out from the car, cursing them, calling them names, calling them ape, the N-word. He started punching him, lift him up, drop him on the floor.
56-year-old Ali Wahid Noor was taken to hospital. He was treated for several lacerations and a chipped tooth.
He's having continuous headaches. He cannot sleep at night.
His wife was not injured. The couple is thanking the people who came to their aid.
And he said that I cannot believe how many people of good heart in St. Albert and the Muslim community. And not only that, some of the Jewish community even outreach us, say that, well, we cannot tolerate what happened.
St. Albert's mayor says he's disturbed by what happened.
We're going to, have some conversations internally and ensure that St. Albert remains just exactly what we want it to be. And it's extremely disheartening. And, we absolutely don't welcome violence of any nature.
The National Council of Canadian Muslims says it's working with local officials as well as with the family to ensure they are receiving support.
It's been continuous issues around Islamophobia and around anti-immigrant hate. We're noticing that there needs to be concrete actions from all three levels of government to address these types of incidents.
RCMP have arrested 40-year-old Ryan Richard Lacasse of St. Albert. The 40-year-old has been charged with aggravated assault, uttering threats, and 2 traffic act offenses. Nara Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
And RCMP say a case has to go to court before it can be considered hate-motivated. A judge can determine that based on the evidence presented, and that ruling could lead to a stricter sentence. Edmonton police have charged a 30-year-old man after seizing a sawed-off gun. Police say late last month, officers were called to the Churchill LRT station. They say a man was interfering with first responders who were trying to help someone. Officers arrested the man and found a gun in his backpack. Police say the accused has a lifetime ban from owning guns, stemming from a previous manslaughter charge. City Council has approved the construction of a new tower near the University of Alberta. Earlier this week, Council unanimously approved the rezoning of 2 plots of land on 87th Avenue and 117th Street. Development company Westridge Pacific plans to build a tower that could be as high as 27 stories, plus a neighboring 4-story low-rise. The tower will have 260 rental units, underground parking, and commercial space on the lower levels. Planning is now underway. Construction is expected to begin in late 2027 or early 2028. An evacuation alert has been lifted for a community near Fort McMurray that was in danger of flooding. About 140 people live in Draper. The evacuation alert was active for more than a week. An ice jam on the Athabasca River was causing nearby water levels to rise, along with concerns of overland flooding. Today, the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo lifted the alert. There is no longer a significant risk of ice jams. The municipality says there are still several ice runs expected to pass near the town, and it's warning people to keep a safe distance from the riverbanks. Well, Josh, I'm not sure about the weather in Fort Mac today, but I know it was beautiful here in Edmonton. A little gusty, though.
Yeah, 20 degrees in Fort McMurray this afternoon. First time this year that they've hit 20. It's not going to last. It'll cool off by about 10 degrees tomorrow, but we'll talk more about that in a second. 22 downtown Edmonton. That is so far our daytime high, 22.3. We'll see if we can squeeze out another 0.3 of a degree and round this up to 23 before the day's done. There's your wind, 15 gusting to about 30, 35 kilometers per hour. A little stronger south of the city, 20 gusting to close to 40 earlier this afternoon. Started the day at 11 degrees, way above average and well above the freezing mark. We ended the day 7 degrees above average. You had that cloud cover overnight last night. There were even a few scattered showers in parts of the Edmonton area through the late evening and the overnight period. Really didn't amount to all that much, but a little bit of patchy precipitation. Again, with the showers that are in the forecast, or at least the chance of them, Sunday and again next week, it's kind of the same story as last night. Really doesn't look like it's going to amount to all that much, but maybe a couple sprinkles here and there in through the Edmonton region. Through this afternoon, most of the rain has been in through the foothills and into southwestern Alberta. You do have a couple scattered, really tiny little cells there tracking towards the Red Deer region. All of that's going to miss the Edmonton area. We'll stay dry tonight, just a few clouds through the overnight period. Temperatures around 7 degrees tomorrow morning, and then some increasing cloud in the afternoon. Again, the wind gusts to about 30 kilometers per hour, and we'll see 19 or 20 for a daytime high. Take a close look at the weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, the odds of Edmonton receiving a PWHL team as the league looks to expand.
I think that sort of passion for a local franchise would just explode if we were to get one.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Wake up with us at CTV Your Morning Edmonton for the latest local news, up-to-the-minute weather, traffic updates, and lifestyle entertainment. There's no brighter way to start your day. CTV Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays 6 to 9. Watch live on Crave.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The Spruce Grove Energy City Cactus Rats say they can't commit to an opening date for the new ballpark this summer. An email to subscribers says while meetings are ongoing, the team is unable to announce a definitive date for the opening of the ballpark. It says more work needs to be done to meet required code and safety clearances. Players are expected to arrive for the season in 2 weeks. Energy City Metro Ballpark's first on-field game is scheduled for Saturday, June 6th. Work on the stadium began in 2023 and was scheduled to open last June. Last year, 2025 season ticket holders were given full credits towards 2026 tickets. The Professional Women's Hockey League will be growing next season, jumping from 8 teams to as many as 12. CTV's Evan Kenny has more on Edmonton's appetite for a team and how likely the city is to get one.
The PWHL is expanding with a team in Detroit. The league previously announced it would add 2 to 4 teams this offseason, leaving some asking, could Edmonton be next?
I think that sort of passion for a local franchise would just explode if we were to get one.
Hockey Edmonton says the number of girls playing in our city has skyrocketed.
We have seen such an incredible growth in the girls' game over the last couple years, not just in numbers, but in visibility, opportunity, and excitement.
And Edmonton has a track record of supporting the women's game.
She'll took the delay for Daryl Watts, a wraparound, she scores!
Hosting 3 PWHL takeover games.
All alone, in comes Murphy, she scores!
And packing crowds for the rivalry series between Team Canada and Team USA.
The senior leadership team with the PWHL is really keen on Edmonton because it is such a great sports city.
However, Rogers Place is a busy arena, hosting the Oilers, Oil Kings, and concerts most nights of the week.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't think that there's a chance that we get a PWHL team anytime soon. As of right now, there just really isn't somewhere for them that is the proper size venue for them.
While it may not be likely Edmonton will have a team until there's new infrastructure, Hockey Edmonton is staying hopeful.
When you go in the buildings and you've seen the excitement and the energy at the takeover tours, it's just undeniable that Edmonton wants a team and Edmonton needs a team. So I think it's just a matter of time before we get one.
TSN reports Hamilton and Denver are the next 2 frontrunners for the expansion. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Between the high price of fuel and fertilizer, farmers are facing a steep increase in what it costs to get a crop to harvest. That could trickle down to shoppers later this fall. One expert, though, believes the true impact of the increase might not be felt until the next growing season. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Halfway between Kalmar and Thorsby is a long way from the Strait of Hormuz. But the conflict that's impacting gas prices is also influencing the cost of fertilizer. About 1/3 of the world's supply travels through that waterway.
There are products that have gone up more than 50%. Other products, that regular 10 to 15%. So there are drastic changes. It does hit the bottom line and take right out of the profit margin.
Farmers like Joe Benderitis buy fertilizer by the truckload. Any change in price can make tens of thousands of dollars difference to their input costs. Most grain farmers around here use 2 types of fertilizer.
The anhydrous ammonia is locally produced within Alberta, and it can be produced at a rate that farmers are using it.
The nitrogen is pumped into the soil. Granular fertilizer pellets are also used, loaded into this hopper with seed. That product is seeing the biggest price spike. Benderitis ordered his pellets back in December, before the strait closed. Farm Credit Canada estimates more than 70% of farmers did the same.
The longer it goes on, it seems like we'll have more fertilizer supply issues going forward, and if it lasts, a couple more months, that starts to impact than fertilizer prices for 2027 plant.
That means consumers may not see higher prices until fall 2027. Still, senior economist Lee Anderson says farmers are feeling the pinch. Meanwhile, Benderitis says he actually likes what he sees in the futures market for the price of barley, wheat, and canola.
I have my product on hand. We're going to get our crop in. And I think most farmers are going to still have a great season.
He says the shorter-term cost pressure in agriculture is fuel. Near Kalmar, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
Maple Leaf Foods says it's passing on fuel price increases to its customers as the impacts of the conflict in the Middle East drag on. Chief Executive Curtis Franks says the meat packaging company has tacked on a temporary fuel surcharge to cope with soaring transportation costs. He says it will be removed if or as fuel markets normalize. The Mississauga-based company also says price increases haven't affected overall demand, but they've helped drive growth in poultry sales as the cost of beef remains high. Still to come tonight on CTV News, a functional fire. City crews closing a park for a controlled burn.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Trails around a park in the West End will be closed tomorrow for a prescribed burn. City crews plan on doing the burn in Jan Reimer Park, which is across the river from Terwilliger Park. The Terwilliger footbridge will also be closed. Prescribed burns help remove wildfire fuel. The city says it will only go ahead if weather conditions allow crews to control the flames and smoke. A prescribed burn, Josh, just what the doctor ordered. Hopefully the wind isn't too strong, though. I know that could just fuel the flames. You don't want things to get out of control there.
It does look like we've got northerly winds, about 15 gusting to 30 tomorrow. So we'll see what they decide to do
see
with,
what he calls 911
with that. Take a look outside. We've had gusts to about 30, 35 kilometers per hour off and on through this afternoon here in Edmonton. There's a shot from the River Valley Sky Camps brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. We're at 22. Under partly cloudy skies, 22 the daytime high. Here's your current wind speeds, 35 gusting close to 50 in through east central Alberta. That's been the case pretty much all day today. Gusts to around 30 here, Edmonton, Red Deer, and up in the Fort McMurray and Lac La Biche areas. Temperature-wise, as we said, Fort McMurray hit 20 today. You're at 19 right now. You will cool off in a big way for tomorrow. 21 in Grand Prairie and Red Deer, and 20 in Cold Lake. Watch this cooler air in the green drop back in across parts of the north and northeast for one day tomorrow. We'll start to see some warmer air move back in, it looks like, through the course of the weekend. Here in Edmonton, we'll see daytime highs around 20 for the next couple of days, somewhere in the 18 to 21 degree range, and then should be low 20s Sunday, unless we get some rain rolling in early in the afternoon. There is a chance of a few scattered showers in the afternoon, so we'll see how that plays out in the next couple of days. All the showers have been in through the foothills and southwestern Alberta through the day today. A couple scattered showers around the Red Deer region, but that does not look like it's going to be maybe not even enough to get the ground really all that wet. Here in Edmonton, partly cloudy skies this afternoon. We'll see a bit of clearing overnight tonight, so sunshine to start the day tomorrow, and then clouds roll in as the day goes on, and we've got some more rain in the forecast for southwestern Alberta. Higher elevations through the mountain parks can't rule out a chance of some wet snow overnight Friday night into early Saturday morning. There's also this chance of some showers from Red Deer off to the west and northwest Saturday morning. I think here in Edmonton, that misses us. Just cloudy to start the day Saturday, then some sunny breaks in the afternoon, and a mix of sun and cloud in the forecast for Sunday. 4 degrees, Fort McMurray, as well as Red Deer tomorrow morning. 6 in Grand Prairie. We'll start the day at the 7 or 8 degree range. 11 in Fort McMurray, so about a 10 degree drop from where you were today. Cold Lake a little cooler than today as well at 15. Grand Prairie cools off a little bit. 16, no worse than about average though. 20 in Red Deer, and somewhere in the 17 to 20 range in east central Alberta. We'll be around 17 degrees mid-evening tonight, dropping to around 7. Wind pretty light through the evening and the overnight period. Starts to gust around lunchtime tomorrow and through into the afternoon hours, and then it dies down tomorrow evening. And it looks like the wind should be a non-factor for Saturday. Sunday, Monday gets a little gusty once again. And as we said earlier, there is that chance of a few scattered showers Sunday afternoon. Aside from that, it's a pretty dry forecast for the next 5 to 7 days, and a warm one as well. Average daytime highs 15 degrees. We'll be well above that right through into the middle of next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. A new Leger poll shows more than 2/3 of Canadians support banning kids under 16 from using social media and AI chatbots. More than 80% of people polled said they're concerned about the negative impacts apps like Instagram, TikTok, and ChatGPT have on children and teenagers. The poll did not say what's driving that concern. Pollsters say factors could include U.S. court verdicts against Meta and Google and the Tumbler Ridge shooters' use of AI and ChatGPT. A couple of new bus services are launching soon, which will make it easier to get to some visitor hotspots around southern Alberta. Flixbus will now operate routes from Edmonton to Drumheller starting next week. Buses will stop in downtown Drumheller and the Royal Tyrrell Museum. In June, Valley Connect will launch in Drumheller. It's a free hop-on, hop-off shuttle service connecting tourist hotspots like the museum, the Hoodoos, and the Atlas coal mine. When we return, trying the trades, how the province is encouraging more students to take up a skilled trade.
We know that many young people face real barriers when exploring careers in the skilled trades.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
A new provincial pilot program aims to help young Indigenous people find careers in the trades while meeting the growing demand for skilled labor. The province is spending $300,000 on the Indigenous Mentorship and Pathways program. As part of the program, 3 symposiums will be held in Edmonton, Calgary, and Fort McMurray. They'll bring together Indigenous leaders, educators, and skilled trades employers who will share information about careers and job opportunities. Participants will be able to learn more about fields like construction, electrical work, and plumbing.
We know that many young people face real barriers when exploring careers in the skilled trades. Limited access to training information, fewer connections to employers, and challenges obtaining opportunities. This pilot is designed to help close those gaps. Led by people who understand the trades.
The province says the program will also help Indigenous recruitment agencies. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.